Good evening, and welcome to our sixth and final Sports Hour episode of the semester. I'm Kevin Serkey, sitting next to Meyer Mikulski, and Meyer, I can't believe it's our last episode already.
Yeah, man, that's a tough pill to swallow.
All right, so for the last time, the Fredonia Blue Devils baseball team split their two Easter Sunday games at Plattsburgh, losing Game 1 2-1 in 11 innings, but winning Game 2 4-1. Russ Mastretta, Billy Clifford, and Nicholas Fiore all had RBIs in the Game 2 victory, while Sam Sester was the winning pitcher. The team then lost yesterday to Plattsburgh 6-2. The Blue Devils are now 11-18 overall and 8-7 in the SUNYAC, which has them in third place in the conference standings. They next play at Oswego on Friday. The softball team played two games at Oswego yesterday and lost both of them. They lost the first game 16-3 and then lost the second game 2-1. Sam Seeger threw a one-hitter in the Game 2 defeat, but a walk, two bunts, and two errors on the same play, a drop fly ball, and an overthrow, led to both Oswego runs in the third inning. The Blue Devils are now 11-19 overall, 6-8 in SUNYAC play, and are tied with Buff State for sixth place in the conference standings. They will conclude their regular season with 4 home games this weekend, a doubleheader versus Oneonta on Friday, and a doubleheader versus New Paltz on Saturday. So if you haven't seen the softball team yet and you are looking to get out this weekend, go support the girls as they're trying to make that last push for the playoff spot. And the lacrosse team snapped their 7-game losing streak Saturday at University Stadium in their home finale as they defeated Plattsburgh 13-12. Natalie Prim scored 3 goals for the Blue Devils, while Samantha Spice, Madeline Haney, Allie Kuhn, and Alyssa Kissel had 2 each. Jen Kirshner and Casey White scored the other Fredonia goals. Saturday was also senior day as Spice and Kirshner were honored prior to the game. With her 2 goals and 3 assists, Spice was able to eclipse 100 career points. Fredonia is now 4-12 overall and 1-7 in the SUNYAC. They lost at Allegheny tonight 17-10 and will conclude their regular season Saturday at Oneonta. And finally, Nick Serafin finished in first place of the men's high jump Saturday at the Cortland Classic after he cleared 6 feet and 6 inches. For the women, Hannah Curbs won the 10,000 meters as she ran it in 39 minutes and 2.29 seconds. Ayana Bursey finished second with 12.74 seconds in the 100 meters. Both teams will take part in the Cardinal Classic this Saturday at St. John Fisher College before SUNYACs begin on May 3rd. So there is your roundup of Fredonia sports. And now, Meyer switching to the NBA. It's we're in the thick of it now as we have a lot of teams already advancing into round 2.
Breaking news. The Raptors just wrapped up their first round playoff series against the Orlando Magic, 4-1. On a 115-96 victory, the Raptors were led by Kawhi Leonard, who recorded 27 points on 8 of 11 shooting and 7 rebounds, and Pascal Siakam, who recorded 24 points on 8 of 16 shooting, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. The Magic, on the other hand, were led by DJ Augustine, who recorded 15 points and 4 assists. So what are your thoughts, Kevin?
Well, I got to be honest, last week before we aired, I told you, I was like, hey, Orlando won. Watch out for the Magic.
Yeah.
And we know Toronto's recent struggles. And you're like, no, Toronto's got it. And, well, you're right and I was wrong. And after seeing this series, I'm with you now because I believe you said last week that you have the Raptors in the finals, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I am going that far, but I definitely agree that the Raptors they could be a dangerous team this year because I really like their team now with Kawhi and Siakam. He arguably one of the best, either him or D'Angelo Russell for comeback player of the year, or most improved, and the addition of Marc Gasol too. So it seems like they're clicking now and they're coming together, and I think they have what it takes to make a deep playoff run. So you still think that? You think?
Yeah, I'm still sticking with that prediction.
You think it's going to be Raptors Warriors still?
Yes, despite the DeMarcus Cousins injury.
Yeah, that's a big blow to them, but as we all know, the Warriors have enough pieces. They still have 4 All-Stars in their starting lineup. So, but I think that the Bucks are going to come out of the East. I'll let you talk more about this, but they just beat the Pistons last night. They swept them 4-0, and I just am in love with this Bucks team. So, you want to fill us in on what happened in the game? I mean, talk more about it.
Hold on a second. So, just like Kevin just mentioned, the Bucks swept the Pistons on Monday night after defeating them 127-104. And this is the first time the Bucks won a playoff series since 2001 when they had Ray Allen. The Bucks were led by Giannis Antetokounmpo, who recorded 41 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 blocks. In Detroit, they were on the wrong side of history, losing 14 consecutive playoff games, which is the most all time. They were led by Reggie Jackson, who recorded 26 points, 7 assists, and no turnovers. So what are your thoughts, Kevin?
Well, like I was just saying before that, I think the Bucks are going to come out of the East. I think they have a really, really strong team, and I love watching Giannis play, and I think Eric Bledsoe, he's one of the most underrated point guards, if not one of the most underrated players in the whole league. And then with the addition of George Hill, that's a great 1-2 punch in the backcourt. And then you got guys like Mirotic, Brook Lopez, Pat Connaughton coming off the bench, Chris Middleton, and
Sterling Brown's been getting some
Sterling Brown,
minutes too.
And Malcolm Brogdon, he's been hurt for how long?
Probably a few weeks now.
Yeah, so they haven't even had Brogdon, and once they get him back, I mean,
they could be dangerous.
Yeah, so I really like the Bucks. They're playing really strong now, and I can see them going all the way. So who do we have next on the list here?
Let's talk about a game that's currently going on. But first, let's talk about the previous game that happened in that series. On Saturday, the Sixers took a 3-1 lead on a 4-point victory in Brooklyn. They were led by Joel Embiid, who recorded 31 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, 6 blocks, and 2 steals. And the Nets were led by Karis LeVert, who recorded 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. In the third quarter of that same game, there was a scuffle that caused Jimmy Butler and Jared Dudley to get ejected, which stemmed from a hard foul from Joel Embiid, as well as some verbal jabs on Twitter between Ben Simmons and Jared Dudley.
Yeah, Jared Dudley's kind of come out of nowhere, and he's made a name for himself all of a sudden this series. If you didn't know, Jared Dudley said on Twitter that Ben Simmons is, I can't remember the exact quote, but basically he said he's a decent player. Yeah, he's a good player in transition, but
in a half court, he's an average player.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And as of right now, it looks like the series is about to be a wrap because the Sixers are currently up 103-74.
Well, if that's the case, the 76ers and the Raptors would be squaring off in the semifinals, and then the other matchup is the Bucks and the Celtics, and the Celtics already swept the Pacers, so that's the last game if you want to fill our viewers in with what happened in that series.
So the Celtics were the first team to advance on Sunday with their victory in their 110-106 victory. The Celtics were led by Gordon Hayward, who scored 20 points on 7 of 9 shooting. And 7 different Celtics scored in double figures, including Hayward. As for the Pacers, Bojan Bogdanovic recorded 22 points on 6 of 14 shooting, along with 8 rebounds. Without Victor Oladipo, they made this series respectable, as the average margin of victory was 7.5 points. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you just said it. Without Victor Oladipo, the Pacers, I don't want to say they didn't have anything, but you could definitely tell that how valuable he is to that team. I mean, when he went down a couple months ago, I just kind of knew that, yeah, the Pacers could make the playoffs, in which they did, but also, yeah, they're probably not going to go too far, in which they did. So it's just unfortunate because they had a really good team this year. They had a lot of guys playing well, and then with the late season addition of Wesley Matthews, he played well. But obviously it's hard to fill the shoes of Victor Oladipo. So in the end, it just wasn't enough. And the Pacers are definitely going to be back next year, though. They got a strong team for sure. All right, so that will finish the East. So once again, Milwaukee is the 1 seed. They will be playing Boston, the 4 seed, in the semifinals. And then it looks like Philadelphia, the 3 seed, will be playing the 2nd seeded Raptors in the semifinals. So I'm thinking we're going to have a Bucks-Raptors conference finals. And in that case, you're taking the Raptors, I got the Bucks. So unfortunately, like I said at the beginning of the show, this is our last one. So we're going to have to wait until next semester to talk about it. But it's going to be fun to watch now. I love watching the playoffs, don't get me wrong, but from here on out, especially in the conference finals, that's when it gets, really fun to watch.
It is different watching the Eastern Conference playoffs without LeBron.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people thought going into the season that the East has nothing because LeBron left. Yeah, okay, there's Giannis, Kawhi, Joel Embiid. But, I mean, a lot of teams surprised NBA fans this year. I mean, Giannis played up to expectations. So did Kawhi, Joel Embiid, but then the Nets with D'Angelo Russell, Orlando with Nikola Vucevic, Indiana with Oladipo until he got hurt, the Pistons with Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin. I mean, the East has a lot of solid players that people forget about because everyone's thinking, oh, LeBron's gone, the East is nothing now, but there's a lot of solid teams left.
Even in the case of last year's players, it wasn't so much that the East was weak. I think it was just that LeBron was that much better than everyone.
Yeah. I mean, LeBron, not this year because of his injuries and the circumstances, but he's obviously probably the best player in the game, and if not the best player of all time. So, I mean, when you're going up against that, he's just going to beat you every time. So, all these teams in the East, they're probably thankful that he left.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, that being said, let's talk about the West a little bit.
So, first series that we're going to discuss is the Warriors versus the Clippers. The Warriors hold a 3-1 lead after defeating the Los Angeles Clippers 113-105. The Warriors were led by Kevin Durant, who recorded 33 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. Klay Thompson scored 32 points on 12 of 20 shooting, and Steph Curry was only held to 12 points on 3 of 14 shooting. As for the Clippers, they were led by their rookie Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who recorded 25 points on 9 of 15 shooting. After their Game 2 victory in Oakland, the Clippers have made this a respectable series by making the game ugly for the Warriors, despite the fact that they're down 3-1. So what are your thoughts, Kevin?
The Clippers have a good team this year. They don't have the superstars anymore. They don't have Blake Griffin. They don't have DeAndre Jordan. They don't have Chris Paul. So Lob City is not a thing anymore. But they have a lot of solid players. Danilo Gallinari, Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, Gilgeous-Alexander. A lot of solid players who were gelling well and playing really well together at the end of the year when they needed it most. But I think at the end it's not going to be enough when you're going up against a Warriors team that literally has 4 All-Stars as their starting lineup, which, again, I've never liked that. I never liked that when Durant left Oklahoma City and went to Golden State. I mean, to lose to them in the conference finals, then you go join them the next year, and then you just make it that much more unfair to all the other NBA teams. I've never been a fan of that.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think I don't know how far the Warriors are going to go this year. I think they're definitely beatable this year. I don't know if it's just me or if you can sense it too, but I can already sense that they're starting to fall apart a little bit.
Because now that Cousins is hurt, they're almost the same team that they were last year, but without Nick Young.
Well, that and, all good things must come to an end. I know it's only been a couple years, but I can already sense that, with this offseason, Durant, I have a feeling he's going to go elsewhere. So I don't know. I just had that feeling that they're slowly but surely starting to fall apart. And I think they can definitely get beat. So let's talk about some of the teams that could be beating them here.
So, speaking of teams that could beat them, the Houston Rockets hold a 3-1 lead And the Jazz, they live to see another day for now, since they won 107-91 last night. And the Rockets died by the 3 down the stretch. They were led by James Harden, who scored 30 points on 8 of 19 shooting. And he also had 4 assists and 8 turnovers. And Chris Paul scored 23 points on 8 of 19 shooting, with 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 turnovers. As for the Jazz, they made everything they looked at, especially in the fourth quarter. And Donovan Mitchell scored 19 points alone in the fourth quarter and ended up with 31, 7, and 4 for the entire game. And Jay Crowder also stepped up big for them, scoring 23 points on 8 of 13 shoots. So what are your thoughts, Kevin?
The Jazz had a really good team this year, as they did last year. And they just ran into a really good Houston Rockets team. And it's not over yet, but, no team really comes down from a 3-0 deficit. I think if a team were to do it, though, I think the Jazz would be that team because they're, they don't have a bunch of superstars. They're another team that just a bunch of solid players that are just scrappy and they fight and they're, blue collar and they never give up. So I could see the Jazz being a team to come back from a 3-0 deficit, but I think the Rockets have what it takes. To.
In my opinion, the Jazz, they don't really have the horses, because they don't Donovan Mitchell. He needs help. They don't have another go-to guy that can create his own shot. So that's that.
Well, just about a minute left, so real quick. It's looking like it's going to be the Warriors and the Rockets in the semifinals, and then we have the Trailblazers and the Thunder. Trailblazers lead that series 3-1, and then the Nuggets and the Spurs. That series is tied 2-2. Game 5 is in action right now. And real quick, what are your thoughts here? I like the Trailblazers and the Nuggets. I think both teams are really good, and honestly, I think the Trailblazers are so good. They could even make it to the finals, and they could be the team that beats the Warriors. So, real quick, what do you think?
I actually believe the Thunder could try to make a comeback, but they're gonna have to step it up, especially offensively.
All right. So once again, I have apparently I just realized I have the Trailblazers and Bucks in the finals. So
wow.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. Unfortunately, we won't be able to talk about it until next semester, but. Thanks for coming on all these times this semester, Meyer, and we'll look forward to working with you next semester.
All right, I will.
All right, we'll be back in a couple minutes, and we are going to be joined by a familiar guest, Chris LeGros. We're going to talk some MLB.
I'll be right back. Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
I realized that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judged me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realized that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listened.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest? You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The bed was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1,000,000. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. I do not love him.
Come see what I collected from the creative galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside the box. Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's put them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
We're glad to have Associate Director of Career Development, Chris LeGros, join us. And if you remember, Chris, we talked about the March Madness tournament a few weeks ago. Now we're going to talk about the Yankees and the MLB. So, Chris, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, except I'm getting worried about the Yankees here. 13 players on the I keep wanting to say DL, but the IL now, the injured list. So
half the team.
Yeah.
And yet they're hanging around.
Yeah, that's the nice thing. I believe they won 4 in a row.
Yep.
As they swept the Royals and then defeated the Angels last night. So it's good to see these young guys coming through.
Yes.
But I'm just, I'm worried about all these injuries. So a quick rundown. I say quick, but it might take a while because there's so many. So just to get you caught up with the Yankees injuries. So here are all the injured Yankees players: Jacoby Ellsbury, Miguel Andujar, Dylan Betances, Greg Bird, Didi Gregorius, Ben Heller, Aaron Hicks, Aaron Judge, Jordan Montgomery, Gary Sanchez, Luis Severino, Giancarlo Stanton, and Troy Tulowitzki. So literally, you could make a full lineup and a half just from that list. And
it'd be a good team.
Yeah, it would be a really good team. And actually, I saw a tweet the other day that said, it's so bad for Jacoby Ellsbury now that he can't even make the all-injured Yankees team.
Ellsbury's always hurt. Just a bad signing.
Yeah.
You know,
was it like $156 million?
Yeah, down the drain for the most part.
Yeah.
But they're still 3.5 ahead of Boston, and they're still only 2.5 back of the Rays. So they're not in a bad spot for a team that's lost so many players. And eventually you got to get some of those guys back.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this, there's a lot of guys that it says they'll be back by early May, or even mid to late May. So like Troy Tulowitzki, it says early May, but he'll probably get injured his first game back.
He'll get hurt again.
Giancarlo Stanton, he'll be back in early May. Aaron Judge says late May, but I don't know. Brian Cashman said it's a significant injury. They didn't want to put a timetable on it. I'm thinking that was because they didn't want to scare the fans.
Right. It's been a scary season with all the injuries so far. And fortunately, the pitching's been there. You know, Sabathia, Tanaka, and the new guy Paxton. They've all done pretty well and keeping them in games.
Yeah, it's nice to have CC back too.
Yes.
And still going strong in his, I don't even know how many seasons, but he's, I believe, 38 years old. So
yeah, he's been with the Yankees. This is his 10th year, 11th year with the Yankees now. So
they signed him in 2009. So him and Brett Gardner, the longest tenured Yankees.
Wow.
And Brett Gardner is another one that's been playing huge for him. A lot of clutch hits. And I think this is pretty symbolic of Brett Gardner's career. Just, you know, the scrappy guy that always, you know, never gives up, tries hard all the time, and he's been pretty clutch throughout his career.
Yep, he's been a clutch player, and you know, I'm glad he stuck with the team this whole time. A lot of Yankees go, they come and go, and they bring in a lot of free agents and that, but it's nice when a guy plays his whole career with the team, especially a guy as good as Gardner.
Yeah, and I don't know if you remember, but a couple years ago there was that rumor that they were going to trade Brett Gardner to the Reds for Brandon Phillips after the Yankees needed second baseman, and I'm very glad that they didn't do that.
Yes, yeah, it's a relief.
And speaking of second baseman, I was very confused at the beginning of the year why the Yankees signed so many middle infielders, but now I'm so glad that
Good thing they have them, yeah.
Yeah, because DJ LeMahieu and Gleyber Torres, they've been playing huge too.
Yeah, they've needed their production.
Yeah, and then we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Clint Frazier too. I mean, the guy's been on a tear. He's hitting .324 with 6 home runs and 17 RBIs.
And here he wasn't even supposed to be on the team or be a 4th or 5th outfielder, and now he's a key player with these guys out.
Yeah, so hopefully it lasts for the Yankees. I mean, like we said, they'll be getting their main guys back, so hopefully these young guys can hold the fort down.
Well, if they can, when the Yankees are whole, they're going to be one of the better teams in the American League, and I think if they can just hang around, I think they'll be okay in the long run.
Yeah, I think going through a tough spell like this only is going to make them stronger in the long run. So, hopefully.
And it gets the young players some playing time.
Yeah, exactly.
Now they can feel better about themselves if these injuries come up again. So I think that's good.
Yeah. So we mentioned that the Yankees are 3 back from Tampa Bay. So let's just talk about the standings for a little bit. Mm-hmm. So Tampa Bay has just been playing outstanding this year. They are 16-8 and have a 3-game lead over the Yankees. So the Yankees are 12-10, and then behind them is the Blue Jays, 11-13. The Red Sox are 9-14, and I love that.
Yep, I'm not sorry to see that.
No, I am so happy to see that. And then the Orioles are 9-16. So honestly, the Orioles aren't as bad as I thought they'd be.
No, and I thought they were going to be horrible. I thought they were going to barely be competitive, and here they're only a game behind Boston.
Yeah.
So that's good for the O's, and too bad for Boston so far. Huh?
Too bad.
What a shame.
So then in the AL Central, Minnesota is in first, 13-7, followed by Cleveland. They are 12-10, just like the Yankees, but also just like the Yankees, they've had some injuries themselves. Francisco Lindor is back for them, so that's going to be a huge addition for them. Mm-hmm. And then Detroit, they're doing pretty decent considering a lot of people projected them to be one of the worst teams in the league. They're 11-10, only 2.5 out of first. And then the White Sox and Royals are in 4th and 5th. And then in the AL West, the Mariners, another team that's having a great year, they're 16-9, and they're a game and a half up on the Astros, who are 13-9, followed by the Rangers, Athletics, and Angels. So they're.
I thought the Central was going to be Cleveland's division to lose. It probably still is in the long run. But big surprise the Mariners are off to such a great start. I think, the Astros are going to be right there the whole season anyway. But what a nice start by the Mariners. It's been a while for them since they had a really competitive team. So they're scoring a ton of runs.
Yeah, and, usually the Mariners start out hot and then they fade. So we'll see if they can hang on to it. And then real quick in the NL East standings go Mets, Phillies, Braves, Nationals, Marlins. It's all pretty close there. And the Central, Cardinals, Pirates, Brewers, Cubs, Reds. Again, they're all separated by just 4 games, so it's close there too. And the NL West, Dodgers, 15-9. They're in first, followed by the Diamondbacks, Padres, Rockies, and Giants. So obviously it's early, so all these divisions are going to be close, but it'll make it interesting to watch this summer.
Definitely. Long way to go. Nice to see the Padres bouncing back a little bit. And that's kind of nice to see. They've been poor for a pretty long time.
Yeah. So we'll see if Machado can help them. So that will do it for this segment. Thank you for coming on, Chris. And
thanks.
And go Yankees.
Thanks for having me. Go Yankees.
All right. I'll be back in just a couple minutes to get you caught up on the NHL playoffs. And then Aaron will be on. And we're going to have a good while to talk about the NFL draft, which is just in 2 days. So stay tuned for that.
I'll be right back. Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How do you not love him?
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the Creative Galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside the box.
Go be amazing!
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
All right, welcome back. So, just a quick update on the NHL standings here. So, in the East, starting off in the East, the Islanders surprisingly swept the Penguins. They beat them 4-0, and the Islanders are just having a great year after John Tavares left. And the Penguins, it seems like their dynasty is already starting to fall apart a little bit. So, we'll see what happens there in the offseason. Rumors with Mike Sullivan, he could get fired. So we'll see there. As a Sabres fan, maybe the Sabres might go after him. With Jason Botterill, they have ties, so keep an eye on that. Another upset, this one was even bigger. The Columbus Blue Jackets swept the Tampa Bay Lightning. The 128-point Tampa Bay Lightning, the 62-win Tampa Bay Lightning, did not win a playoff game. That's right, they lost to Columbus 4 straight games. And Columbus is they had a solid year, and now it looks like they're having a great year. So Columbus will be moving on in the second round. The Hurricanes and Capitals are going to Game 7 tomorrow night, as the Hurricanes won Game 6 last night, and this series has been the definition of back and forth, as every home team has won. So Washington won games 1 and 2 when they were at home. The series shifted back to Carolina for games 3 and 4. The Hurricanes won those. Washington won Game 5 at home. Carolina won Game 6 at home. And now Washington is home tomorrow night for Game 7. So will Washington keep the streak alive? Keep the streak alive of being the home team that wins. So we shall see there. And then Maple Leafs and Bruins. I believe that series just went final, as let me check here. But the series, it was Game 7, and yes, the Bruins have won 5-1. So the Bruins are moving on. As a Sabres fan, I didn't really know who to root for. So I guess, well, yeah, the Bruins are moving on. So then in the West, we have the Flames and the Avalanche. Colorado already won the series 4-1. The Avalanche are having a great year. The Flames were one of the top seeds, but like I said, Colorado's just had a great year with Nathan McKinnon and Mikko Rantanen and Gabriel Landeskog too. So their big three is really carrying them. The Blues beat the Jets 4-2. The Jets were another top-seeded team, and the Blues with Ryan O'Reilly, former Sabre, found his love for the game again. He was able to help the Blues take down the Jets. And a little bit of a surprise here too. Dallas won their series against Nashville 4-2. Another team, kind of a little bit of a surprise, a little bit of an upset. Dallas is having a great year too. Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, another superb season for those two. And then Game 7 right now between Vegas and San Jose. That series has been back and forth, and it all comes down to tonight, Game 7. So the other night, San Jose won to send it to Game 7. Thomas Hertl scored a shorthanded goal in double overtime to win it, and Martin Jones made 58 saves. So, and that was after getting benched the previous game. So that shows a lot about his character. So Game 7 is right now. Let me do a quick check there. See if there's a score yet. Okay, Vegas has scored. 4 minutes left in the first period. Vegas is up 1-0. So Vegas, after a year after making the Stanley Cup final in their first year as an NHL franchise, are looking to advance into the second round. So we shall see there. And meanwhile, the Sabres are still looking for a coach, as they might be waiting until the end of the playoffs to conduct a thorough search. Maybe a couple coaches might be getting fired after the first round concludes. Maybe they'll just call up Chris Taylor, the Rochester Americans, their AHL affiliate team. Maybe they'll just have him be the coach. And I know some Sabres fans don't like this idea, but I love the idea of bringing back Lindy Ruff. So maybe, maybe, just maybe, I would love to see that. And then real quick, in the second round, we will have Columbus and Boston squaring off. And then either Washington or Carolina squaring off against the Islanders. And then in the West, Dallas and St. Louis, and Colorado and either Vegas or San Jose. So real quick, just going to make a couple quick predictions. I'm going to take Columbus and the Islanders in the East, and then I'm going to have Columbus going to the Stanley Cup Finals. And then in the West, I think St. Louis can take down the Stars, and I think either Vegas or San Jose will beat the Avalanche and then the Blues. So I think the Stanley Cup Final, I'm going to go Vegas. I think it's going to be Vegas and Vegas again in the Stanley Cup Final against Columbus. So there is my prediction. We'll see if that comes true. And I guess we'll just have to talk about it next semester then. So stay tuned for, in a couple minutes, Aaron's going to come on, and we are going to talk about the NFL Draft.
If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How do you not love him?
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the creative galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside the box.
Whoa, be amazing!
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
All right, welcome back to our last segment of the semester. Aaron, we're glad to have Aaron Semper join us now. And Aaron, I can't believe it, 2 days away. Actually, two nights, 48 hours from now, we'll know that probably the top 10, 15 picks already. So, again, I mean, like every other season, this offseason just flew by.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts here as we head into the draft?
I've said this many times, Kevin. This is a very defensive draft. I think a lot of the top 15, these top 15 guys, I feel like a good majority of them will be on the defensive side. And, yeah, I mean, that's about it. I mean, I know that there's a lot of talent across the board for all these mock drafts like I've been looking at about, QBs, edge rushers, all that, It's so spread out, but I really feel that it's a defensive draft. And I really feel like last year, obviously, the highlight of the draft was how in the first round 5 quarterbacks were taken and whatnot. And obviously, I guess last year was more of like a offensive-based draft. And this year, it's going to be a complete 180. It's going to be completely different and all that. So I'm really excited to watch it,
Yeah, so am I. So I got a mock draft from CBS Sports today, and they still have the Arizona Cardinals taking Kyler Murray number 1. So
at this point, I think everyone knows it's going to happen. But you know my views on it. I don't think it's smart, but I mean, he's not a bad player. He's an amazing player.
Yeah. But if you have Josh Rosen, I mean, like you're saying, you have so much talent with this defense. Guys like Nick Bosa, Quinnen Williams, Josh Allen, Devin Bush, Devin White.
There's so many.
Yeah, I mean, the list goes on and on. How can you pass up on one of these guys when you have a bigger need to fill one of those holes for a quarterback?
Yeah.
So, Kyler Murray's great. He can be a great quarterback for you. But at the same time, you have a quarterback already.
Yeah.
So focus on filling the other holes before patching up the other ones. So that's my take on it. I think it's not. I don't want to say it'd be dumb to pick Kyler Murray, but I think
every draft pick is not dumb.
Yeah,
but I just think it wouldn't be the right choice.
Yeah, I think it would be smarter to go defensive.
Exactly.
So CBS has San Fran taking Nick Bosa, number 2 overall. Mm-hmm. The Jets taking Quinnen Williams at number 3.
Yep.
The Raiders taking Josh Allen, not the Bills quarterback, the Kentucky linebacker, at 4. At 5, they have Tampa taking Devin White, the linebacker from LSU. And at 6, here's a bit of a surprise. They have the Giants taking Ed Oliver. So,
I'm looking at the NFL one. It says here they're taking Rashawn Gary. But like I told you last week, Ed Oliver is a very underrated guy because he's a small guy. Like I told you, I think I said last week he was about 280 as a defensive tackle. That's a little small for a defensive tackle. That's more like a defensive end. So I don't know what they're going to do with him. I mean, if I was the Giants and I would make that pick. If I do take Ed Oliver at number 5 or 6, I mean, I wouldn't mind transitioning him to a defensive end. Maybe, or beef him up. Be like, we need you to gain 10, 15 pounds before we decide what we want you to play. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit of a surprise for me because, well, actually, I can't really be surprised anymore with what the Giants do. But if I'm the Giants, I'm taking a quarterback because, yeah, Eli might have 1, maybe 2, most likely just 1, if that. 1 year left in him, and it's really time to draft his successor and learn under him for a year. And with Dwayne Haskins and Drew Lock and all these guys that are available, and you have the number 6 overall pick, I mean, I think you got to go get your quarterback.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Kevin, a few weeks ago, it could be kind of like a Mahomes, Alex Smith deal last year. Like they sat Mahomes out for the whole year. Alex Smith was a mentor. Eli was a great quarterback. Eli is if you give Eli time, which he never has time anymore with his line, but if you give him enough time, I feel like if they draft a quarterback and they do a mentor process like they did with Alex Smith and Mahomes, I feel like it'd be really good because in the past, Eli has a successful resume as a quarterback in this league. So, but I totally agree with you 100%. The Giants need to go quarterback at this point.
Yeah. So then CBS, their mock draft at 7, they have Jacksonville taking T.J. Hawkinson. And we were talking about this before the show. He is a really, really good tight end, and in the last couple of weeks, he's really been climbing the charts here. So, I mean,
is this the Jaguars?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because on this one it says the Bills. But
honestly, we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, but you guys know I'm a Bills fan.
Honestly, we talked about how this tight end class is actually pretty beefy. They got a lot of guys in this draft class. So.
Defense and tight ends. That's where all the depth is this year.
Yeah. So honestly, if Jacksonville wants to take a tight end, do it. I mean, who do they even have on their depth chart at tight end? They had Mercedes Lewis. Is he still in the league? I don't know.
I think he's out of the league. They had Julius Thomas, but he's not there anymore.
Yeah, Julius Thomas.
He never panned out from Denver.
Oh, he was amazing in Denver. Scoring 13 touchdowns that one season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think Jacksonville needs a tight end just as much as the Giants need a quarterback, in my opinion.
Yeah. So CBS has the Lions taking Brian Burns from. They list him as none. So he doesn't really have a position.
I saw that.
I think he's just an edge rusher. So he's a junior from Florida State. So I honestly don't know too much about him, but I mean the Lions need defensive help. So I think that would be a good pick for them for the hype that Brian Burns is getting. Who does that?
I'm just going to say Ed Oliver.
Oh, okay.
Which I mean, I don't even know if the Lions still have Snacks Harrison or whatnot, but I know they had him last year.
Oh, Damon Harrison?
Yeah.
Oh, Snacks, yeah.
So if he's gone, I mean, Ed Oliver would be a great replacement, like I said. Last week, he's like a freak of an athlete. He's just too small. That's the thing. I feel like, because a lot of these nose guards, or D tackles, are basically nose guards. They get double teams and all that. So, what does it say? Is he still on the...
He's on the Lions, yeah.
He's on the Lions, so I don't know, but I think what would be a weird pick, but I could definitely see it happening. In my opinion, Matt Stafford's really fell off these last few years. That's just me. I don't know about you, but I really feel like he has, especially last year. I think they won 6 games last year. It was a really bad season for Detroit. But I wouldn't be too surprised if maybe in the later rounds, 4th or 5th, or whatever, how many rounds there is. I think there's 7. I don't know.
Yeah, 7 rounds.
If the Lions get a quarterback, I mean, that might sound crazy to you guys now, 2 days before the draft, but if it happens, it won't be crazy. You know?
Yeah, I can see that, just getting a reliable backup for him. All right, here we go. with the 9th overall pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Jawan Taylor. So that's who CBS.
It's a mock. It's a mock, folks. Don't get too excited.
I'm already excited. I can't wait to see who the Bills get. But I think if they do get Jawan Taylor, that'd be a great pickup for them. Brandon Beane said it last week at the beginning of OTAs that he likes the job that he and the rest of the Bills staff did at filling all the holes in their lineup. And they don't this year, unlike last year, they needed a quarterback, so they had to get Josh Allen.
Yeah.
But this year, they did such a good job at filling all those holes. Now all they have to do is patch them. So what that means is they don't have to go after, just a right tackle or just a tight end or a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
They can take the best player available. So if it's Jawan Taylor, they'll take him. If it's Ed Oliver, if he's still there, they'll take him. If DK Metcalf is there, they can take him. If TJ Hawkinson is there, they can take him.
Yeah.
So, the Bills, they also signed TJ Yeldon the other day. So that is 18 signings now for the Bills. 18 free agent signings.
A lot of new faces in Buffalo this offseason.
So hats off to Brandon Beane and the rest of the Bills front office for really, really improving our team this year. So I'm really eager to see where the Bills are going to go Thursday night. And then just to finish out this segment with the top 10, they have CBS Sports has Denver taking Devin Bush, the other stud linebacker named Devin White and Devin Bush. Devin Bush is from Michigan. Devin White's from LSU. I think this would be a good pick for Denver.
It's funny. Devin Bush isn't on this NFL one in the top 10.
Really? Because he's supposed to be really good. And I think, the Broncos parted ways with Brandon Marshall. So there's a need for a linebacker, and I think he'd be a great fit for...
Yeah, this top 10 is number 1, Kyler Murray. 2, Nick Bosa. 3, Quinnen Williams. 4, Josh Allen. 5, Devin White. 6, Rashawn Gary. 7, Jawan Taylor. 8, Ed Oliver. 9, TJ Hawkinson. Didn't say Hackensack. And 10, Drew Lock. So I think that would be a good pick for the Broncos.
I can see him winning a quarterback too, yeah. Because you don't know about Flacco.
It's Flacco, and he's, I don't know. He's like that. I saw this thing where it was like QB eliteness, and it was like Joe Flacco in the middle. It's just like he could never be too good or except that championship run he had that one year. But like 2012. But besides that.
Well, Aaron, we usually just have time to do the top 10, but we have about 6 or 7 minutes left in this segment. So let's try to get through the whole round one for the first time in a long time. So I think what I'll do now is I'll just do it by section. So I'll do 11 through 15. You can do your 11 through 15. We can talk about that for a quick minute.
You don't want to talk about the overrated or underrated?
Nah, I want to finish the...
Okay, let's finish this quick.
I want to finish.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
All right, you go first.
So yours is... We're doing 11 through 15?
Yeah.
Okay, so for 11 on the NFL.com mock draft, just released today at like 10 a.m. Pick 11, so Dwayne Haskins are saying is going to go to Cincinnati.
Wow.
Which, I
haven't heard that one yet. Staying home in Ohio, though.
Andy Dalton.
Yeah. We're talking about this on the way in to the show, that Andy Dalton he's just been an average quarterback, but he's had an average coach in Marvin Lewis.
Yeah.
But Marvin Lewis is gone, and with the new coach, maybe Andy Dalton can be an above-average quarterback.
Yeah, and then pick number 12, they have the Green Bay Packers going after Noah Fant, the other tight end from Iowa. And then 13, Clinton, I don't want to say this wrong.
Clelin Ferrell.
Clelin Ferrell, the edge rusher from Clemson. Oh yeah, he was a guy that really helped them get that championship run this year. That's what I remembered.
Yeah.
And then another guy from Clemson right after him, Christian Wilkins, the big guy, the D tackle. And then 15 is Brian Burns, an edge rusher from Florida State. So what does your 11 through 15 look like?
So CBS has Cincinnati taking Rashawn Gary, defensive tackle from Michigan. They have Green Bay taking Noah Fant, the tight end from Iowa. At 13, the Dolphins are going to take Cody Ford. 14, Christian Wilkins goes to the Falcons. And at 15, that's where they have Haskins going to the Redskins. So, all right, now we'll do Want to read us your 16
Okay,
through 20?
so 16 through 20. So number 16, they say the Panthers are going to get Andre Dillard, an offensive tackle, from Washington State. Pick 17, the exchange for Odell Beckham. The Giants are going to take Jonah Williams, an offensive guard from Alabama. 18 is Cody Ford, an offensive guard for, they say the Vikings are going to get him. He's from Oklahoma. And then pick 19, the Titans, Jeffrey Simmons, D-tackle from Mississippi State. Oh, no. Okay, it just went back.
All right, I'll do mine. So at 16, CBS Sports has the Panthers taking Jonah Williams, the tackle from Alabama. The Bills have been linked to him, so he could go as high as 9 or even later in the first round. 17, they had the Giants taking Daniel Jones, so that's where they get their quarterback, according to CBS. 18, the Vikings get Garrett Bradbury, a center. Another offensive lineman with the 19th pick goes to the Titans, Chris Lindstrom. And then the 20th pick, they have the Steelers taking Byron Murphy.
Okay, so for my 20th pick, because the internet was just messing up, get this name, Greedy Williams, cornerback from LSU.
It's a great name for a cornerback.
And then, so 21 through 25, I guess we'll do. So after the whole, Montez Sweat ran a 4.41, still says he's going to go to pick 21 for the Seattle Seahawks.
Here, you know what, Aaron? Yeah. Just do 20 through 32 real quick, and then I'll do mine.
20 through 32?
Unfortunately, we got to hit the dusty trail.
Okay, so Montez Sweat going to the Seahawks. Marquise Brown going to the Ravens. I can't even do this. 23 going to the Texans, Greg Little. 24 going to Oakland, Josh Jacobs. First running back taken off the board. 25, Jonathan Abraham going to the Eagles. He's a safety. Dexter Lawrence going 26 to the Colts. 27, Byron Murphy, cornerback from Washington, going to the Raiders again. Rock Yassin, cornerback from Temple, going to the Chargers. DeAndre Baker, cornerback from Georgia, going to the Seahawks again. Devin Bush, there's that Devin Bush, 30th pick, going to Green Bay, linebacker. Garrett Bradbury going to the Rams. And Dalton Rinser, offensive tackle, going to the Patriots. So,
all right, I'll do my 21 through 32. So, CBS has the Seahawks taking Clelin Ferrell. At 22, the Ravens get Marquise Brown. 23, the Texans get Andre Dillard. 24, the Raiders get Greedy Williams. 25, the Eagles get Juan Thornhill, strong safety. 26, the Colts get Jerry Tillery. 27, the Raiders again get Josh Jacobs. At 28, they have the Chargers getting Dexter Lawrence. 29, the Seahawks with another first-round pick. They're going to take Darnell Savage Jr., a defensive back. At 30, they have the Packers taking Dalton Risner. 31, Jeffrey Simmons, D-tackle from Mississippi State, goes to the Rams. And then they have the Broncos trading with the Patriots for the 32nd pick and getting Drew Lock. So that is interesting. And also, real quick, we have to make note of this, especially as Aaron's a Chiefs fan. The Seahawks traded Frank Clark today to the Chiefs.
Ooh.
And 5 years, $105
million, 63 million guaranteed.
So now it's been interesting all offseason, but now it's really getting to be crunch time. So less than 2 nights away. And we'll know if all these picks come true or not. And the draft continues Friday night and then finishes on Saturday. And we have our sports director, Melissa. Are you going to come on?
Oh, okay. Looks like I'm going to go.
As our sports director, remote broadcaster Melissa Neuburger joins us for the last time, unfortunately.
Oh, Wow. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Oh, you could have stayed here, Aaron.
Aaron, come back.
Yeah, here. I'll just go in the middle and like squat. Hi. I'm a graduating senior this year. My name is Melissa Neuburger. I am the remote broadcasting director at the WNYF here. My freshman year, I joined the station and I joined Sports Hour. And it's been, I don't know, just 4 years working on the show. I've been a producer and director for 3 years now. And I really owe it all to my crew. Oh, I'm going to cry. My crew and my talent, because I know nothing about sports at all. I know swimming and that's about it. And I really could not do this without them at all. So I'm very thankful for everyone who has come onto this show for the past 3 years with me running it, because I really would not have been able to do it without them. And I guess that's all I'm going to say so I don't cry. Thanks, guys.
Well, thanks for everything you've done, and best of luck with everything.
You too.
We're going to miss you next year.
Oh, don't worry, I'll watch the show. I'm
all right,
sure.
good. We got another viewer for next year. And thank you guys for tuning in all semester. And me and Aaron, we're only sophomores, so we'll be back for 2 more years, bringing you more coverage of Fredonia sports and professional sports. So once again, for the last time, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next semester.
I won't.
Go Bills.